In the United States, the journalist often called the appearance of the ship of the Navy of Russia in Cuba to appear in the USA. The Russian military ship arrived in Cuba is in shock of the American correspondent CNN Patrick Opmana. This is a Russian warship who arrived yesterday in Havana and moored in the very center, in the Havana port. This is definitely carrying a serious promise of both Cuban and American people about strengthening Russian-Cuban relations, he noticed at the same time. He stressed that there is also American wines in this situation. The United States imposed many sanctions into Cuba, and Russia continues to help the country and strengthen economic ties. So, for example, in February of this year, Russia put 25,000 tons of wheat on Cuba at no cost. The company also said that Russia plans to build new supermarkets on the island, where Russian goods will sell. Increase the supply of oil and modern. This week in the Bay of Havana arrived a training ship of the Navy of Russia Porekop with cadets on board. It is located in the Farbim to ensure the maritime practice of cadets of naval universities. The ship will visit a number of countries of the Caribbean, as well as South America and Africa. It is planned to return it to the main item of the basing in September. SASH will buy hundreds of MIM-3 Hawk missiles in Taiwan to send them to Ukraine. Taiwanese publication reports China Times with reference to an anonymous source. At first we broke your head over what to do with hundreds of written rockets MIM-23 Hawk from 4 divisions and 18 batteries, but after Taiwan-American consultations, the United States confirmed that they will redeem the written off in Taiwan. It is reported that rockets were written off at the end of June, and consultations with the United States took place last year. According to the Taiwan news portal, the island Ministry of Defense refused to comment on this message. However, it was reported that the detonated weapons is disposed of in accordance with the standards. According to the portal, according to the standards, the surplus of military products cannot be sold, with the exception of special circumstances approved by the ministry. Suspension previously sent NATO countries a note due to the supply of weapons to Ukraine. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov noted that any cargoes that contain weapons for Ukraine will be a legitimate goal for Russia. In the Foreign Policy Department of the Russian Federation stated that NATO countries play with fire supplying weapons to Ukraine. In the Kremlin, they stated that the pumping of Ukraine weapons from the side of the West does not contribute to the success of Russian-Ukrainian negotiations and will have a negative effect. Lavrov also stated that the United States and NATO directly participate in the conflict in Ukraine, including not only the supply of weapons, but also by training. In the UK, Germany, Italy, other countries, U.S. Prosecutor's Office. The presentation of the charges will be held today at noon by the time of the United States. Ed informed the representative of the American Justice about the arrest of Konashchenko in Estonia on request. The United States became known in December last year. According to the Ministry of Justice, he was extradited in the U.S. on July 13th. The complex Johnny Depp. Stephen Dwight's manager responded in his Twitter account to the question about the actor's plans to visit Russia. Earlier, the network appeared frames of Johnny Depp video, allegedly to Russian fans. In it, he thanked the audience for watching a new picture with his participation Jean Dewberry and promised fans to see them in the near future. Many regarded this as direct appeal to the Russians. According to doubters, it was not so. The roller was addressed to fans around the world.